So this is my final response video for EDL 551 Student Development Theory. And as much as I will miss you guys, I will not miss doing these videos. I've never liked doing videos. I don't like looking at myself, and I don't even like hearing myself talk when it's recorded. So I am happy that this is the last video response for this class. This is Module 5. So in response to all of you, Matthew, you talked a lot about the Kober theory and the Fowler theory. I actually did a map on the Fowler's theory. And Hannah, you also you talked about Gilligan's theory of moral development and how women move through the different 3 levels. And Laura, you talked about a little bit about all the readings. You gave a review of all the readings. And Chance, you talked about Fowler's theory of faith development as well. I would like to respond more specifically with one of something that Laura said in her initial response. And Laura, you spoke about the importance of the intersection of identities. And this is ever so more, I guess, visible in this module than perhaps in the other modules. And you are so correct, because you do have a lot of intersecting identities with different types of spirituality, with regarding, in those readings we have those readings about people who identify as atheists, people who identify as Jews, people who identify as Christians, and those are just to name a few. There were a lot of readings, and I think that, or I know that our identity is not just dealing with race, is not just dealing with gender. Our identity is composed of everything: how we believe, what we believe, um, um, who we respond to, who we're more influenced by. And so that is an intersection of identities. Chance, in your response, you were talking about how sometimes people can be judgmental, and I think Matthew touched on that as well with a story that he related about his friend. And it is true, a lot of times when you identify with a certain type of belief or a certain type of faith, people do appear to be more judgmental, and I think it's because people don't really know, and that's why it's so important to do research. That's why it's so important to learn about other cultures and other ethnicities and other belief systems, because if you don't know, then you really don't have the right to judge if you're not fully aware of everything. And even if you are aware of it, that still doesn't give you the right to judge. Everybody's entitled to his or her own belief, his or her own opinion, and whether you believe it's right or wrong, that's, it's not really for you to say. So I guess that ties back into Kohlberg's theory of moral reasoning and moral judgments. But as Matthew pointed out, he only focused on males, so it's kind of hard to actually say that you can actually apply that to everybody. But morally, we have our own ideas, our own reasoning as to what is right or wrong. And I don't know, I think we have a long way to go before we can actually be able to look at someone and see all parts of their identity, um, and take all parts into perspective before we actually make judgments against one another. So that's interesting, and I'm glad that the last module did help us, or help me, as well as you, Laura, to actually see the importance of the intersection of identities. So again, this is my last response post, and I hope to see you, some of you at least, next semester. So bye-bye.